Thank you.
God,
Thank you.
all right. Looks like our next match against Thug Shaker General is going to be on Team Gnosis. This is a Dynamis team that is
General,
God.
which is also a fantastic.
Team Gnosis is a Dynamis team that's almost always asking for scrims every night inside of CC Madness. They are relatively newcomers and they are here to play. They definitely one of the rougher teams in order to try to make it so that they want to prove themselves. On this team, we've got Julian Tomes, Labris Rao, Shannon Liturtle, Madi. I can't read these names. Do you want to?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna need Sox to pull up the slide. But again, he's in Ohio, so give it 20 years and it'll be updated. All right, we have Julian Tomes, Labris Rue, Shannon Liturtle, Amadeus Lionheart, DX Aver, Tsukuru Tazaki, Esilia di Venrari, and I don't speak Italian. I speak Japanese. I don't speak Italian. I just butchered that last one so bad. I'm so sorry. The entire continent, or country of Italy. Definitely not a continent. Let's hope. It always makes for better viewing, but I also know that Gnosis has really been putting in a lot of work, so I hope they can, maybe take one off the Aussies, or maybe take two. Will Gnosis be a new dark horse? We have 2 goblin hats, 2 people off in the void, and 1 person on a beach. That is fantastic.
Where do you get those goblin hats? I see so many people with these goblin hats, and 90% of the time they're Australian.
So there's no general theme there for Gnosis. What I do like is that DX, despite being the mugshot, has actually slightly moved his character, so it's not a generic mugshot. I can respect that. Looking over at the Aussies, 4 of them are naked. Only Racket Moment has clothes on.
Oh God!
Fantastic. I would expect nothing less from the Aussies.
Yeah. What do you say to that?
Absolutely nothing. You say absolutely nothing about that.
Yeah.
We gotta look at the other team. We look at Gnosis. They're all clothed. That's
it's Aussie hours.
Armor has been known to help in combat, and it looks like we are about to potentially see an engagement here. Looking at the teams, they're actually almost mirrors. There's some minor variation there, with a monk instead of a dragoon, and a reaper instead of a ninja. But we'll see Amadeus Lionheart opening early. He's now behind the Aussies. He's cut off. He's going back on the speed lane to try to rejoin the fight. And in that time, his warrior will go down. And it looks like DX Aver in a flashing life might be punished. Their guard going down. Their life of the dragon is down, and they're going to get away. Surviving much better than I would have expected, but it also looks like Shannon Liturtle has become the new possible kill target, or is it Amadeus Lionheart? It's Amadeus Lionheart, and down he goes.
Yeah, Burning Reaper LB there too is definitely one of the stronger reasons, one of the biggest, one of the only differences between these 2 team compositions, and one of the things that they were relying on to try to swap this game back as Team Astra goes right back into the spawn, really sensing blood in the water and say, all right, you stagger, we're going to keep it going.
Gnosis manages to take down the Nin, though, and will they be able to follow it up? They have DX Aver on the back foot. He might survive just like he did last time, though. He's getting that elixir off, and right now, Gnosis might actually have the advantage. There is a Whim LB and Monk LB on the Aussies. Will Racket go down? Racket will go down. Out goes Summoner LB from Raugramoon, though. That's huge, and now goes the Monk LB for a finisher on someone. So down goes Gnosis' Warrior. It is 4v4. Down goes Gnosis' Whim. It is now 3v4. And there is no mana left on Gnosis' Summoner, who's about to go down as well. But they do make a trade. So we are 2v4. Horizon also, I should have mentioned, is on Warrior instead of Machinist, like I discussed earlier.
It's absolute chaos. Kills left and right, and no solid advantage on any particular side. It looks like
Amadeus going for the Fear again. Surviving at least for this time, not getting bursted in the animation lock. But the Warrior, Julian Tomes, holding point, needs to get that Warrior LB out so they can get that CC immunity. There it is. Only impacted 2 of the Aussies. Down goes Router Moon. But Horizon, the Warrior for the Aussies, low mana. We'll see if Gnosis is able to take advantage on that. Gnosis definitely has the mana advantage at the moment. And Tipsy Mountain goes down, so Gnosis has possibly a chance to recover here that they've been trying to fight for. Will they be able to take advantage of it? Down goes the Warrior. Oh, the Crystal almost Wise Man in, though. Not successfully Wise Man in, but that was scary there for a second. Wouldn't... Oh, man, my heart if I was on that team. Turning around and noticing that Crystal that close. It looks like they're not going... Oh, Amadeus Lionheart going very far ahead. He's probably about to get very punished by this, but let's see.
Out goes the Spear. Break onto the Ninja.
You're right, they're going hard onto Tipsy Mountain, the Ninja, but will they be able to pick him? Down goes their Warrior. Yeah, no.
Get that pick onto the Warrior in order to punish that immediate deep dive, especially going in. Warrior starts ripping the LB. Hori-san rips the Warrior LB, kills the Dragoon before the Dragoon's able to get the laser off. It looks like they're able to get that Dragoon LB off. Laser goes out. Focus targets onto the enemy Warrior, but they're not able to go down. Huge LBs used without necessarily getting any secures down. White Mage might be able to die here for their troubles.
Yep. Julian Tomes is back up, the Warrior for Gnosis. They are going to try to stall. They're trying to peel for Amadeus Lionheart, who's still unfortunately stuck deep in the Aussies' midst. Out goes a Bahamut LB instead of a Phoenix. And down goes the Ninja, so it did work. But Amadeus Lionheart still incredibly weak. Will he be able to actually succeed in retreating? That is the question. The answer might be yes, and if that's the case, they got Reaper LB and Dragoon LB going into this next fight. Their Warrior, though, is the clear kill target, and the Aussies continue to walk the Crystal. Will they be able to break up Gnosis' momentum? They are very low on mana on almost all characters, but they have LBs coming up, and those can be huge game changers. So there's Wim LB, there's Monk LB, Ninja LB coming up, and Summoner LB. And it looks like the Aussies are trying to retreat to get some elixirs off to reset that MP disadvantage that they were at. And they managed to make a pick on Julian Tomes. And it looks like Gnosis is actually walking the Crystal, though. Their White Mage is the kill target. Out goes DX Aver's Dragoon LB. Will he be able to get any picks with it or not? If he waited one more second, he could have comboed it with the Reaper Fear to break those guards so that they could have eaten the full blast. This is a uphill climb for Gnosis. They've got 3 versus 4, and there's a White Mage LB waiting for them too. One of those 3 up remaining for Gnosis is still running to the fight. And now the Warriors here. It is very chaotic.
Parties. I don't think this game has had a moment to breathe almost this entire time. Just non-stop fighting on multiple parts of the map.
Right. They're going hard on Rake moment. They managed to make a pick out of him with the White Mage and Warrior LB comboed. The Warrior has no mana, though. He needs to pull back if he's going to be able to survive. I don't know if they're going to let him, though. It is still 3v4 on the point. Hori-san's mana starting to get a little low. Maybe Gnosis will go for them for the next pick, but the Monk has LB coming up, and that's almost a guaranteed pick if they execute it right. They need to punish him, not let the LB get up, but they are somewhat on the back foot here. We're seeing Gnosis, two members of the Aussies are running Gnosis down back near their spawn, taking out the Dragoon, DX Aver. So there is their White Mage also about to go down. And that is 5v3. Will the Aussies be able to wipe things up here? I'll say Gnosis has definitely given the Aussies a little bit of a run for their money here and not going down without a fight. That is for sure. Amadeus's LB goes out to break some guards before he dies. Not able to do much with it other than that. Julian Tomes holding the point. About to run out of mana. Not sure what more he can do. Shannon the Turtle also taken out from Miracle of Nature and First Sync. DX Aver back on the point. Back on the point. He's about to have LB. Can he last long enough to get his LB off to buy more time? Will he do it if he can? Let's see. Yes, he will. He's going to buy some time with that Dragoon LB. Not going to manage to make any significant dents in anyone. They just have too much mana on the Aussie side for that Dragoon LB alone to have really finished anyone off. And their White Mage of Gnosis, currently the kill target. Down they go. Gnosis continuing to rotate onto the point. This isn't over yet. They are doing a good job of getting there. And they're keeping the game going. I thought maybe that bloater there was about to end it. That pulled Shannon off the point, but Shannon is back on the point, holding it. Actually, no, sorry. Shannon is walking back. Julian Tomes, the Warrior, is holding the point, but Shannon is clearly a kill target for the Aussies. Down they go. Julian, the warrior, going to be the target next. They don't have guard. They're low on mana. They're bloated off the point. They're still on it. They are down, and that is it for round 1. That was a very long round 1. That was good. What do you think, Vivian?
God, just 7 minutes and 30 seconds of non-stop fighting. Just from first engage, just non-stop. We see a lot of the members on Thug Shaper General just diving in deep, trying to get those kills, trying to harass that backline as much as possible, and really make it difficult for Team Gnosis to actually regroup and fight a reasonable fight.
We're going to see some of those classes in here that we are about to see as we go to the screen. Load up. All right. Portrait game, still very on point for the Aussies. Big fan. Also love how the system broke it up, so the 2, and then the 1 in the middle. Anyways, so we have a Gunbreaker. That's our first one for the tournament so far. We also see that the person who is the Dragoon for Gnosis has changed. That is now Julian. Amadeus Lionheart is the Gunbreaker. DX Aver is now a Dark Knight. Still have the Summoner, still have the White Mage. Whereas on the Aussies, we have a Dark Knight now and a Dancer.
Yeah, Dark Knight and Dancer, definitely a lot of crowd control, a lot of tight AoEs, a lot of ability to make use of that Dark Knight Suck in order to try to get as much cleave damage as possible. Not only does that Suck help you set up your Dancer LB, help cover for that Dancer LB to help crowd control more people, but it also lets you get that follow-up damage onto Dark Knight LB itself, which is otherwise a little bit more difficult to hit. With that Summoner, you've got a lot of LBs, a lot of explosive instant burst that can kill a team just like that.
Whack-A moment, trying to get his first of his combo off probably there. What I will say, looking at the Aussies comp, is just an insane amount of cleave. If they are able to get Gnosis into one area like they're doing with Suck right there, there's about to be so much damage just piled onto everyone as a result of the cleave.
Looks like Gnosis has a lot of a similar plan right now, and they've got the cleave out onto the Australians. Horasan's going down to about half health, half mana, only 1 recuperate left, possibly gets out in order to be able to get that get off. They are not able to secure that kill. Going back onto the point, looks like with that attempt, with the fact that they weren't able to get that kill, they're suddenly in a much rougher position. The Gunbreaker's about to go down with no mana,
Gunbreaker's a Nebula, though, and they're very tanky with that, and I think he's about to get the ground pod. So yes, actually, the Gunbreaker lives. Will Gnosis be able to survive long enough for him to make it back, though? Because he has LB, he's probably about to let it rip, but Gnosis is taking a lot of damage, as is the Australians. So, we have a fight still breaking out on point. Amadeus, no, not able to rip that LB yet. The Aussies are really not giving him a good chance to line that up on them. And it looks like the Aussies have pushed to checkpoint. They're going to burst DX Aver here out of guard, most likely. Out goes Amadeus' LB, and honestly, it's hard to see what just happened, but he managed to get at least a double kill. So actually, the Aussies are now on the back foot and running for their lives. Ralgo Moon trying to pick up as many Skittles as he can to accelerate his LB return for the next fight. And it looks like he'll succeed.
Explosive return on Team Umbra's part. They managed to get that Suck off. They managed to get that cleave off, turning it around with the Gunbreaker alone, especially a rough position, given that Team Astra was able to, or committed so many limit breaks in order to do that. They committed the Warrior LB and they committed the Phoenix, or they committed the Bahama. Still have 3 going in, so they're in a okay position, possibly looking to this Dancer LB to see whether or not they can set up that next Satan chain.
Right, looks like their Dragoon is going down before they're able to LB, though, and out goes the Ninja LB from the Aussies. They're trying to get it off on DX Aver next. He is not going to LB before they manage to get him with Satan. That is extremely unfortunate. They're probably going for Amadeus here next. And this is probably looking like a wipe on Team Gnosis after they just made that explosive return, too. That's highly unfortunate. But the LB economy is definitely in favor of Gnosis if they are able to survive. Bandit Turtle running for her life. Not going to survive. Unfortunate for Gnosis. That puts them into a stagger position. But the Aussie Jaime, the Dark Knight, very low on mana. Honestly, if Gnosis pushed... Oh, no, the White Mage is still dead, too. Sorry. I had misread that. In comes the Dragoon, but Dragoon caught by the Dancers. Caught by the Dancer, but still going down on top of them for a double kill. That is honestly unusual to see that effective.
Pretty good return. So one of the interesting things about Dragoon LB, so Dancer, if you're tagged inside of the range, at the end of the animation, you're going towards them no matter what. Doesn't matter if you're guarding, doesn't matter if you're behind the wall. And if they get more damage onto you, that'll be the reset. But the thing about Dragoon LB is that if you're in the air and you're walking towards them, forced to walk towards them, you're still immune. So you're actually okay.
Out goes the Gunbreaker LB.
Out goes Gunbreaker LB. Oh my god.
I mean, the Dark, very low, but so is Gnosis. Almost no mana except for on their Dragoon. Their front line really having to take a retreat here if they can, although the Dragoon about to get exploded, unfortunately. I think that was a Blota back into the line caused by the bombs going off. Very effective environment play by the Aussies, which certainly is something they're very well known for. Is if any map has any sort of special effects, the Aussies will abuse the hell out of you. And pin you down and blow you with
LB sync with that. They really executed with that Warrior LB, with that Dancer LB, and with all of that damage. Looks like they're trying to suck off 30 seconds, about 35 seconds left onto the game, and LBs are coming up once again.
Right, out goes Dragoon LB. Gnosis, two go down. Julian Tomes their Dragoon. Looking like about to be another casualty, unfortunately, which is going to force another stagger. But DX and Amadeus, the two tanks. Oh my goodness. Down goes Amadeus. I believe that was from the Ninja LB there from Tipsy Mountain. They're just spamming Potion in front of DX, who unfortunately really doesn't have the ability to stop the entire team. 4 seconds left until overtime. Aussie's probably going to just intercept here, and that will be that. It is over.
A clean, kind of chaotic performance from the Australians, honestly.
I wouldn't say clean. I think that was a very good fight by both. Well, okay, clean, yes. Nothing was bad there, but I think Gnosis definitely put up a very strong fight, and especially against a very strong team. I think that was a better showing from them than we've seen before too, and they really put that Gunbreaker to work. I've only seen Amadeus play Reaper, but the double kill with the Gunbreaker LB was absolutely well executed. It might be a better fit for them, or at least for their comp.
Yeah, they definitely showed a lot more signs of life, especially considering how strong the Australians are. Definitely an incredible performance.